Hello once again, friends. So it's been a little bit, so I just wanted to get this video because gonna be doing another sale right away, so just want to get a little bit organized. Not a huge haul, but catching up on maybe a couple weeks of stuff pickups. Yeah, my voice, I'm sure you could hear. I just have to accept that no matter what I do, no matter what I try, this time of year I always get so sick that I might not have a voice, but I got enough of a voice back now to do this. Just pretend I'm an old blues man. Thing about the blues is you gotta get the comic books. Or a jazz radio host. Um, I'll forgo any more of that. Let's go. Let's change it up a little bit this time and do the new releases first. Cruel Universe Volume 2, Number 3. I was shitting on this series, but this one actually was kind of alright. Mostly due to the artistry of Anna Reedman. Also got Ryan Hughes, Cecil Castellucci, Claire Rowe, Sarah Gailey, and Kano. But this first story was kind of the star, a little bit unique, and yeah, appreciate this art. This is kind of the kind of thing you'd want where creators are being creative as hell, kind of just going off. Kind of like an underground sci-fi style comedic, of course, too. Let me just show some of these monsters, maybe even kind of like 1940s cartoon influence. Pretty funny, not bad. Yeah, it's mostly the art in this one is pretty good. So yeah, anthologies, they are what they are. But that one was the strong point. Not bad. Kind of good. Getting to some more interesting layouts here in the second story as well. But anyways, let's keep going. Maybe I'd say like a 3 out of 5, or yeah, 6 out of 10, 6.5 maybe on this one. G.I. Joe number 10 and 11. I'll be straight up with you. I haven't read these yet. I want to catch up, but I've read most of this stuff. Heat Seeker Exposed, issue number 3. Can't show the interior because lots of TNA. Heat Seeker might be coming to be more maybe like lighthearted and cartoony, or like, what would the word be? Unrealistic? a little bit zanier maybe, because there's like a bionic kind of super soldier chick now with like a crazy healing factor. So almost getting into the realm of like superhero-y stuff in this otherwise kind of crime and heist stuff, with always lots of TNA. This issue is no exception, which is why I can't show anything more. Here's the Virgin variant. Yeah, still pretty fun, still sticking with it. Maybe Gun Honey is a little more serious at this point, but it still delivers. Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of Blood by James Stokey. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? It seems to be. So this is the second series of Orphan and the Five Beasts. I only recently completed the first, so I thought I would just come into this cold and kind of see how I caught up, this being the first issue that I've read of this whole series. And yeah, it kind of reads like maybe like a manga. I don't think I was able to get like caught up in reading this, but it probably would have served me well to be more familiar with the first series also. Not bad. I'm not sure it's like quite my thing. I guess he's coloring it himself. I want to say like maybe if it was a little more, it has good color harmony, but like I feel like this would look really good in black and white. It looks good with color too, but I feel like maybe it could be, the colors could be more distinguishing. The palette, even though it has different colors, is a little bit similar from page to page, but I'm just being nitpicky there. Just kind of curious what you think, even. But still pretty fun. I guess there's like monsters and demon type shit or something, but or magic, but yeah, kind of like kung fu. What's that? Kung Fu Hustle. It was kind of reminding me of like Kung Fu Hustle, but maybe not that crazy, but yeah. Not bad. Predator, Black, White, and Blood, number 3. And thankfully the ongoing series in here continues to be the star, by Joe Kelly and Alvaro Lopez. I've said in the past maybe though that this, it's like the main story is good and the other ones are kind of mediocre. They're passable. But yeah, thankfully the main story is good. So depending on how you feel about stuff like that, like maybe half off or dollar bin would be like the way to get these. But I said I think this is a 4-issue series, and I was a bit surprised that, if you can predict plots, obviously the oppressed girl and the captured predator would team up. But I was surprised that that didn't happen in the last act. Rather, it happened at the beginning of the third issue, rather, or in the end of the second. So it's not just. I'm thankful that it's not. I would have been all around with it or on board with it if it was doing that standard. We're just gonna get revenge on the oppressive, corrupt village or mining camp. But the fact that it kind of starts to do something different is appreciated because it does elevate it beyond the norm in that case. So yeah, this story is kind of good. I like this. Let me see here. Did we already pass it? Yeah, they're like using bones and animal parts as armor and weapons, left to their own devices without the predator technology. Pretty good there. Good design in that regard. Skulls as shoulder plates and armor and stuff like that. You gotta like that. Or this kind of like helmet visor that she has made out of a skull. Yeah, I did enjoy this. So I'll be looking forward to issue number 4. Yeah, these others are fine. Okay, moving on to maybe the star of the newest releases, at least for me, from what I've seen, Rook Exodus Season 2 with number 7. This seems to be a good model if we can keep the quality level up. Like, it kind of reminds me of like a heavy metal magazine model where you're getting like maybe like this much or like a trade paperback worth of story per year, but it's really high quality. I kind of like it rather than even great artists or kind of flub it with monthlies. And I just got to show this opening sequence of pages here. How ballsy is it to open up the new season with just a quiet nature scene here? This deer drinking, and it looks so nice the way it's like the backlighting on it. And this guy's art is so good that it's like, Robert Bateman levels of nature study, and even the nature looks so beautiful, and the sci-fi tech. So get the page flip, you get a 2-page layout here with this I guess this warden of wild dogs. As you might remember that there's a warden for each kind of like what is it, like species, family, different kinds of kingdoms, or I'm sorry, I forget the exact categorizing of biology, but animal kingdom. So he's the leader of the wild dogs, or the warden, in symbiosis tech with these helmets that give them kind of like telekinetic or telepathic connections to these animals. Regarding the art again, just look how nice these wild dogs look. They don't look nice, but they look amazingly rendered and drawn. And the layout, this panel with the, like, you can tell that it's galloping, this deer. The next panel is this warden of the wild dogs galloping. So that already can tell you that maybe he's like a bit off the bend, or like going pretty wild if he's running like a dog. And the center is leaping to attack the deer. Last panel on the page, him roar. He's like talking in just grunts and howls. Get the page turn, and a new warden appearance of deer. And it's just fantastic. Okay, and then how many pages in? Like 5 without words. The first words now. The first dialogue, if you will. Click, like hell on Pictus, connection reestablished. It's like a helmet notification. The deer are getting, the warden of deer is getting surrounded by these wild dogs. Click, service edifice, connection reestablished. I love it. I love it. This is such good storytelling to me. This is pure comics. Like, I love indies underground, but this to me is like, people talk about, say, David Fincher. Wait, what the fuck? I'm getting it mixed up. you know the thing that I'm talking about, and like Jim Lee and stuff. But it seems to me like this guy might be the top dude in the game for doing just like amazing superhero-y or big budget sci-fi. Like if Michael Bay movies kicked at actually were good, or in comic form, like if you want your A plus, like not getting weird and indie or stylized, but the stylization is just trying to be like top of the line superhero or sci-fi art. Like if this was manga, people would be on this guy's jock probably. But I'm on board. I'm on the jock, man, because this is fucking sick, man. Jason Fabok, and thankfully the storytelling and writing is just like so perfect for it. I love this series so far. Am I just enamored? Like, and then you get Rook. The warden of Swine, of course, his former friend was murdered by the company's new warden of bears, these mutant bears, Ursa. So this giant wild, what do they call him, warthog, is now following Rook. You might remember also, I won't keep going on and on, but the helmets, they interface with the animals, but they were speculating, or there's rumors that you kind of like start to not need the helmet and you have like a telepathic or weird like instinctive connection with the animals. And there was that flashback to that part where reality was kind of in question of last season, when this wild boar was maybe like having a telepathic conversation with him, or he might have been hallucinating it. Stuff like that. I love there's cool creative little things to make the world building and mythos, or even the mythos is like just fun to think about, man. Like it's just fun to think of, like, yeah, if you were like able to telepathically talk to animals and shit. Like I love it. The page turned to the reveal of this new warden as well, or like they're kind of like going around the world a little more. Like the first series seemed like really cool world building and stuff, like a good self-contained story, but then of course it can expand, but not in the serial way where you're just kind of like, okay, maybe something cool happened in the next issue, another cliffhanger at the end of this issue. Like it has a lot going on in each issue. I really appreciate it. The I gotta show the Donica, the warden of the wolves, facing the warden of the wild dogs here. And the speculation is of the warden of the wild dogs. He was one of the people to like innovate this helmet technology, but he like won't take his helmet off, and he's gone like totally feral. He like is not even a human anymore. He's just like, oh, the mentality of a wild dog. Oh, it's so good. And then you get this. Sorry if there's a spoiler. I won't. You can look if you want to see the spoiler, but if you want to hear about it, you won't see it for a new one coming up in new issues. It has these nice character cards too. It's totally serves like my juvenile, like, yes. Like you just get something like this where like, oh man, you get like the bad guy character card too, not just the good guys. A new bad guy. And yeah, again, the art, like I just love this, man. This is, as far as like top tier, big budget, fucking bombastic shit, man, sci-fi shit. He's so good. I really love this. So I'm totally on board, man. I'm so on board that I get all the covers that I can. That's the standard A. Here's B, where they have a different warden for each. This would be the warden of deer. And cover C, the connecting. I think there might be ratios as well, but I'm not able to get those because I think if there are, maybe I'm not, maybe they're not like able to order enough of these, sadly. But high recommendation, Rock Exodus, my favorite new like action adventure sci-fi series, or maybe my favorite new comic coming out at all. Bold statement. Another good series that's been going good, Terminator Metal. So the last series ended. This is in a preview of the new, still written by Declan Shalvey. The Ashcan doesn't have any dialogue or text, it seems. Just kind of showing off some what they got art-wise so far, I guess. You can speculate. It seems like maybe they have a... I like when we don't get enough of the post-apocalypse world in the movies, right? But I guess that might be some of the storyline in this. You gotta like that. Okay, Twilight Zone #1. And I'm a big fan of Rod Serling and Twilight Zone. This one, sadly, like it had its promise. When I was reading the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this seems pretty creative, an interesting kind of premise, maybe, in like skillful writing." But yeah, by the end, I just felt like it was nothing. Okay, with the Rod Serling stuff, you often get some kind of pathos or insight into humanity or life, but this one is just like it felt more like a filler episode of the Twilight Zone, like one that wouldn't be like a great or anything. So um, this is like whatever issue 1. So I'm surprised that they put this for issue 1, because they have issue 2 is going to be by Tom Sholey, I believe, and issue 3 James Stokey or Stoko, however you say it. So this has potential because I just respect other Twilight Zone fans too if they want to take a stab at it. Nobody is as good as Rod Serling, of course, but yeah, I'll check out those further issues as well. But this one is kind of a pass for me, just or kind of like a whatever. Okay, so that does it for the new releases. Let's get to used stuff that we got this past couple weeks. Okay, I brought in a bunch of stuff to trade to Red River Books. I love trading stuff there. Got this Book of the Apocrypha, Gustave Doré, right? So the Apocrypha books of the Bible that were decided by the Council of Nicaea in like 380 to kind of like not suit the rest of the Bible, like Enoch and Jasher and all the weird stuff. Some other stuff. I think there's those stories like Book of Adam and Eve and like do they have the stories of like when Jesus was supposedly like a adolescent or like a toddler and he would like kill people and stuff because he had crazy powers if you just pissed him off, just being a little bit of a brat. I can't remember for that. Maybe I'm talking over my pay rate here. I'm a little bit familiar with this stuff, but not an expert. Gustave Doré, though, fascinating, skillful. Sorry, I'm like blah blah. Sorry, maybe that's not the right word to describe the art, but if you love like black and white line work, I think these were all engravings, right? Is that correct? It'd be like etched onto metal plates and then using printmaking. I'm not sure exactly which apocryphal books he was working on, representing. I think it says here, okay, Balzac's Troll Stories, Divine Comedy, Milton's Paradise Lost, La Fontaine's Fables, Cervantes' Don Quixote, Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I should have got that when I had the chance. Gustave Doré, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Baron Munchausen. He did Baron Munchausen? Wow. Tennyson, Idylls of the King, Books of the Bible, and lastly, London Pilgrimage. It'd be interesting. I should know better at what point he did this, but all his work is just stellar. So this is kind of cool. I have a bunch of these like Doré comics. This should be pretty fun to read as well. Or depending. I know it's based to love the Bible or even the Quran or any... I get bored really easy, though. I won't front. Maybe I skim a little bit here and there. Okay, but Blade Runner 2019. This is cover D by John Royal. I just wanted like an extra copy, maybe for friends or for sale bin when I'm getting stuff through trading. It feels like I didn't pay too much to have stuff available to pass on. Pretty good series, that. It's weird that I only recently remarked, like, I'll be looking for Captain America 310, first appearance of Diamondback and Serpent Society, I think. I forget. But anyways, yeah. Captain America 310. Seeking you'll find. Brubaker and Darwin Cook with Mike Allard, Catwoman, #1. I had liked a few of these, so yeah, cool to get #1 here. This was a pretty fun read. I'll be looking for more of these. And #2. Crying Freeman, #1 by Kazuo Koike. And, the guy who wrote Lone Wolf Cub, but this is much more like smutty, like over the top, modern, like crime. And Ryoichi Ikegami. Of course, you guys know that artist. Mai the Psychic Girl and Sanctuary. Yeah, why not get a number one? This might be an upgrade to the one that I have already, because it's like really minty. I wanted to say too, like I usually like to stay away from, you always want the thick like trade paperback size or whatever of these mangas. Like you want to be able to read a complete story, but I like this bigger size, like as always. And when I actually look at it, there's over 60 pages in this. So a lot of them are like pretty thick actually, but yeah, I do like this format. Okay, I'll try to be a little more concise. Dracula, Vlad the Impaler by Roy Thomas and Esteban Maroto. I haven't read all of these yet, but I like it enough by reading that I know I want to have like a second set to pass on, maybe, or preserve, I always want to have like my for sale or for friends pins to be like cool. And number three, these have the cards in them too. Some kind of like Kirby card. Speaking of Kirby, an issue of the Eternals, number 9. Looks like pretty good shape, that, so trying to piece that together. More Gun Honey. This is from the Gun Honey first series. This is Gun Honey Blood for... Oh, no, sorry, the second series, rather. This is Gun Honey Blood Honey number 2. Cover D by Ang Horror King, the original Gun Honey artist. A wraparound nude cover, but not showing too much lewdness. I kind of got this because I was like, I want to have Gun Honey in the for sale or for friends bins as well, but maybe I like this cover. Maybe I want to keep this one. Fun stuff. Speaking of sex and violence and crime, heist, action stuff, Gunsmith Cats Bad Trip number 2. I was like, let me see if they got Gunsmith Cats. Maybe if I'm really lucky, they'll have a certain issue. And this was the only issue they had there. And yeah, a little bit pervy. Speaking of sex and violence, this is one that has Riley Vincent naked in it and stuff. There might be others that have a little bit more too. So, fan service, I'm a victim to it. Welcome to the channel, fellow creeps. Yeah. Number 2 of the 6. Kill Your Boyfriend from Grant Morrison and Philip Bond. This one is one that was like always recommended at the time it came out. Even on like, I remember seeing the Anti-Gravity Room TV show and they'd be recommending this. But I always thought like, it looks like it's for like hipsters or they want to be cool kids or something, I've been a hater all my life. I did finally read this and it's kind of like those same kind of vibes as like Pump Up the Volume or like Heathers or something, or Teenage Rebellion, go on a bit of a crime spree. I'll leave it at that. Going a little far. It was okay, but I won't be keeping it. I'll probably pass this along too. At least I finally know, like 30 years later, though. This one could be considered maybe like a key if you're into that kind of thing. Because this is Lone Wolf and Cub number 6, the one with the origin story, kind of, when the Shogun comes after him and stuff. So adding this to the collection, maybe it's an upgrade to my copy. Double. Battle Action number 1. Is this from like 2022 or 2023? This is the only issue I was missing, number 1. So we'll check that out. You got Garth Ennis and some others. I like when Garth Ennis does war. So. The couple that I've read of these have been pretty entertaining. Kind of in the vein of old Warren magazines, especially Vampirella, my bad. This is Vampirus Carmia, number 14. These seem like a little bit rare. Maybe, I feel like people are only getting these into shops when customers are ordering them, for the most part, so I feel like these are not that easy to find, and I did enjoy reading the couple that I read. Let's show a little bit here. We've got Don Glut on the writing, Artie Godwin, not Archie Goodwin. Some other names that are kind of like, forgive my sleep-deprived flu brain right now, vaguely ethnic names. So a lot of the times imported artists work very hard and are very skilled. Like sorry guys, my brutally honest just profiling brain here. Especially this Reno Maniqui or Maniquis. But let's just show a little bit of I like this guy's stuff. I like this guy. Every artist in these is quite good, though. Maybe it's Renault Maniqui. Who knows? I'm sorry. I could look it up, but that's no fun. Santos Zabalos. I won't even try. I'll just show a little bit, though. These are quite good. At least art-wise. And it seems like even when the writing is not great, like, you're not really gonna get a great American novel in, like, an 8-page story in an anthology. That's just the reality, I think. But they are entertaining enough and often funny and witty, so I appreciate that. At least they're not, like, horrible. They seem actually pretty decent a lot of the time. And Vampiris Carmilla, number 20. I wanted to show just a little bit more. This is, yeah, Renault Maniqui. Just pretty sick stuff, man. Pretty nice stuff. Yeah, and you gotta like this kind of thing, too. Always. Just well done. Just, like, very skillful illustration. I always appreciate it. It's just kind of good. Like, it's not... It doesn't have, like, comic... what do you call it? Cliches? But I mean, like, that kind of stuff can often work. But, it's just, like, kind of creative and crafted. And that kind of shows me, like, the infinity of illustration, that you can just draw, like, anything from any angle you want, even, and, like, create interesting lighting and composition, even though it's not, like, Anchor Jim Lee kind of stuff, but it kind of is from doing that. I like that. That's one of the things of these imported artists. I think they're imported. That they're just, like, very, very good illustration. I like it. I like that kind of classical style, you know that. Okay, trade paperbacks from Red River Books. Alien Thaw from Declan Shelby, Andrea Broccardo, and Triona Farrell. I've been trying to get the single issues of this, but it's pretty hard to piece together, so happy to find this trade paperback. You know, we love Chris Claremont and John Bolton here, so I saw this trade paperback of Black Dragon. It's been a little bit hard for me to find the single issues of this, too. I was seeing them in bargain bins a lot, but then when I finally realized, like, it's Claremont and Bolton, I couldn't find them anymore. This seems to be about the era when they were working. This is 85, it says, originally. Would that be around the era that they were doing the backup stories? Classic X-Men? If so... If it, like, I mean, this is, like, knights and dragons and magic and fairies and stuff. If it's anything to the quality or, like, emotional effectiveness or storytelling effectiveness of classic X-Men backup stories that they were doing, I'll love it. Hopefully it's anything even close to that good, the quality of those, because that stuff rules, man. Let's see a little more of this section here. Okay. I think a second copy of Planetary number 1, the first trade paperback. This is like a second print, though. The original print had, like, a weird cover that doesn't match the other volumes. So you know how you're, like, a little bit OCD with, like, your style of books on your shelves? It's nice to have it match. So I actually like these, like, later printings, because they, like, match each other. It's a good set. It just looks like more pro, you know? Great series, Planetary. Speaking of which, Pop Comics was recommending this a few times. He's mentioned it. Saga. I think he said it's one of his favorites. And before I did my usual thing of being hard to get. And I was like, man, I read it. I didn't really get into it, but I think that was actually only the first issue. So I'll try the trade paperback out, actually. I was kind of mistaken there. Jumping the gun. I'm just very contrary naturally, but I hear this should be good. I like Brian K. Vaughan quite a bit, a lot of the time. All right, man. Seek and ye shall find. You gotta love it, man. I picked these up on a Friday. This is Mighty Comics. I picked these up on a Friday, and is it like Saturday or Monday on my feed? Lord Tatman starts reviewing Grendel Warchild, and he says he's gonna like do more. I love that kind of stuff, man. Uh, so I had asked a couple times after I'd read Warchild at Mighty Comics, like, do you have any Grendel? And he's like, it doesn't really come in, like, I don't really order it because, like, the only people that read it are, like, the people who order it for themselves. And he didn't have any, but when I was there next, I was like, I know I asked you before, but do you have any Grendel? He's like, yeah, actually, I managed to find some for you. Batman Grendel Devil's Riddle from DC and Kamiko. This number was 1 and 2. Is it a complete series? There are a couple of Batman Grendel series, right? This is one I was looking for. I was looking for those. The next Grendel Prime, like I'm glad that I found Grendel Prime stuff too, because I just really liked him after that Warchild series. It needs to be said, I'm sure, man, whoever like worked on The Mandalorian must have read Grendel Warchild, because it has so many good aspects from that were like, you know, moments in The Mandalorian where like, oh, that was cool. Actually, I'm not a shill for Disney and Star Wars, guys. I'm wicked like fucking alternative and underground, man, and but I liked it. But yeah, Warchild was like even awesomer and that kind of shit. But yeah, following more Grendel Prime, Grendel Devil's Odyssey. He sold all these to me for like a little less than $2 each. Fucking, oh man, I love it. These are all minty too. Number 1, number 2. I did go ahead and read these because I couldn't resist, even though I think I'm missing one issue from the set. Number 3, number 4, number 5. I'll say though that this is not. I still like Warchild better. This kind of like is almost like Star Trekky, maybe even comedic or slapstick. I'd say at points, not to spoil anything, but he's kind of like trying to find new planets to settle humanity on, because it's so far in the future that they're kind of entrusting him to try and find a place where humanity can survive. Number 6, number 8. Things don't go so well a lot of the time, though, of course. Maybe a little bit comedic at times. Okay, I haven't read this series, though. This is from, what, 2023? Tatman said this series was good, too. I'll leave a link to that coverage of Grendel if you're into that, because I got so into it, I was like, yeah, give me coverage of Grendel, man. And I even like went down a rabbit hole. I found like another channel as well. I'll link up. They do like an hour-long episode per issue of like the entire series, starting from the very beginning. But I'll link that stuff for you guys interested in that. I love listening to people talk about comics I like. Grendel Devil's Crystal Defiance, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Missing number 4. Mr. Miracle, number 18. I had this in my box from when that collection came in, you know. It had been there for a little while. I'm like, I won't just leave stuff in my box. I want to be on good faith. That way I can put more stuff in the box. We'll get to that in a second. 1984, number 4. Yeah, this is a great series too. Let's see here. Let's see what we got in here. Some greats, man. Jan Sternad. I'll just say the names that I recognize so you guys can enlighten me if I'm missing some. Richard Corbin, Mutant World, man. Mutant World. Esteban Maroto, Alex Nino, and Jose Ortiz. We gotta see a little bit of Mutant World. Let's flash it. We're getting to the end of the video, guys. Stop and smell the roses a little bit. Nice foreground, background, midground. Separated by, you know, dark, mid, and light areas. Classic. I haven't prepared this video. We're just gonna flip a little bit. See random stuff. We gotta see. We'll bask in some Mutant World when we get to it, though. This must be Maroto. Nice. Hot chicks and zombies. Yeah, and there's like TNA in these too. You gotta respect that. As I said in the previous video, maybe some tits or kind of icing on the cake, or putting a ribbon on it. A nice frame. Treats. Jansen and Richard Corbin, Mutant World. Yes! Hell yeah! Hell yeah, dude. This is nice printing quality as well, because I think it's been mentioned previously by people more in the know than I that the Catalan collections might not be the greatest. Okay, but you know what? You could probably expect this stuff to be collected by Dark Horse, because they must have the... Oh no, wait. I know they have Eerie and Creepy, the licenses to reprint that stuff, I guess, right? This 1984 being on Warren Magazine, do they have the rights to reprint this as well? Their Dark Horse Corbin collections are awesome, so I imagine if they have the license to this, they'll be reprinting it as well. But yeah, I love it. Hell yeah, dude. We get into the end. The penultimate, the second last book. Zorro Rides Again, #1 by Matt Wagner. And is it Francesco Francavilla on the art? I forget. No, it's Esteve Poles. But the art is like suitable. It often doesn't like wow you, but it's the writing and the layouts and everything. It is a complete package though. I do dig these. All right, the last book. I'm gonna piece these together. Remember I mentioned that I'll clean out the box so I can put some new ones in from that collection that came in. I was like, dude, do you have earlier X-Men's that you're kind of like just hiding and not talking about that were in that collection? And he's like, yes, I do. So, X-Men number 95. This is like pretty early in the life of the new team. This was the earliest one he had, so I was like, oh, let me bite like a big bite here to start, and then I said like, yeah, these other ones are ones I'm missing too, and I'll get like one or two at a time. You trust me, I'm a good customer. I like to keep my inbox like pretty empty. keep the faith, and it seems like due to that he gives me good deals. Thankfully, we have a good rapport. I've heard other people kind of like have issues because he has like a weird kind of like sense of humor where he'll just like do the thing where like you'll mention an artist or writer and he'll just shit on them, but I just immediately like I'll do the same thing to him, and we have like a good understanding of each other. Maybe it's just part of being a weird comic fan. You have to deal. All we got is us, man. We gotta fucking learn to get each other, understand each other, and it's pretty good. So this is X-Men 95, and I think in this condition it should be more like 100 or 150 or something. Actually, you know what? I see a little bit of creases or folds there, but I'd still rate this like this must be like a fine. Depending on the era, would it be very fine? At least a fine, right? Let me think, like if you were to order this from my comic shop, they must be pretty staunch with their grading. This would certainly be a fine, at least. But except for this stuff here. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just getting into the real thick of it things, man. I don't know if this stuff is like a great investment. In a previous video, when I was like fucking spaced out, I was like, yeah, comics might be a good investment, but I actually meant more like getting what you like is a good investment, because then it's not like an eyesore if it just sits around. I liken it to like my kid's sister is good with shoes and runners, and she tends to get stuff that she's stylish in her way that's crafted. You craft your own kind of style and repertoire, and then stuff that all the weird rare shoes that she likes, like weird prints of Nikes and stuff. I got some pusshead Nikes myself. Pusshead Nikes, man. The dunks and the packaging and everything for that is so wicked, but they're a little too small on me. Anybody out there size 9 and want to buy like a $300 pair of shoes? Well, that's how much they were worth like 15 years ago. Anyway, they still got the box, little pusshead wrapping and tags and weird shoelaces and all that shit. But okay, anyway, getting stuff you like that, it seems like that's a good practice. But then again, some people might like slabs, speculating and stuff. So I'm not gonna stop anybody. And also, I should just like not even talk, because I don't know. I really don't know. When I'm spending money on this, I'm like, I kind of like this. I wonder if it'll still keep its value. I imagine there's a lot of people like our age let's face it, a lot of us comic fans might be around the same age, right? When we all croak, is the market just going to be flooded with these books that were formerly rare, and then it'll like diminish all the quality, the monetary value? But I try not to care about that, or I guess I would consider that, but I just get stuff I want that I like, you know. And this is an awesome price. He sold me this for $45, and this should probably be worth much more. So I will continue to do so when I can, when I'm not shirking other responsibilities or letting down the world. You gotta save the planet, man. Save them all. From my fevered brain to you, I haven't slept very well in quite a long time due to coughing fits. But yeah, I'd love to do more coverage, especially of horror stuff. It being October, Halloween. I'll try to make sure I come back with some stuff like that. Every year, I'm like, okay, it's October, time to record like a ton of videos showcasing like favorite Halloween series, and then I get so sick that I lose my voice. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, wait a minute, next year again. Oh wait, maybe there's a pattern here. Forget next year. There is a pattern. I can't. But I think next time I want to do like a lot of showcasing of horror stuff. I need to record them at a time. That's the honest to God's truth. Okay, but yeah, there's a if you guys are local and you want to see, there's a show. I posted it in the what's that shit called? Posts. I'm sure you've seen it. Um, if you're not local and you'd like to see stuff on sale, like I'm not trying to push that stuff on you guys, but uh, let me know. I could make a video of that stuff like later. I'm pretty proud of like what I have for sale at the moment. It's maybe about 40% more in quantity and varied stuff than last time I showed stuff about a year ago. Yeah, and any of you guys that interact fairly often, you'll get discounts, man. You know, we keep it gangsta and shit, man. Nanub knew, as Buckwheat said before the tragedy there. Okay, take care, guys, and happy hunting out there. I'll see you in the next one.